What's going on, everybody? Sorry to interrupt your music for D&D or Middle Earth or Lesser Rings, but here we are. Lesser Rings, very late. Work crap, and we're gonna play, and I'm not gonna delay much longer because I'm ready to play. Kevin has a very limited time, so we're gonna do probably a shorter session than normal. No, not on this earth, just in England. He'll be back in the US eventually, and Charlie and Ray will ignore him again. But it's all fine. Kevin, it's all you. Let's get started.
All right, excellent. So, conflicts that the group had.
We're losing Kevin already.
Oh no!
One word out of his mouth, and it's like, eh.
Have I come back?
Yes,
yeah,
we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. As I warned, I don't think this laptop is designed to support it, but we'll give it a try. Am I still here?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. So we resolved the conflict between the group and the wolves. Just about. Saved in the end by a pair of young rangers that who Damrod knows, as well as Maracar. However, by the end of the conflict, Maracar was in a frenzy. One that potentially threatened to endanger the others around him who were still surviving, that were still alive. The group, badly blooded, badly damaged, was led by the two rangers to the north of Weathertop, where they were led to the secret hideout of the rangers. Again, a place that Maracar has actually been to, as well as Damrod, obviously. Apologies for split screens. Still hear anything at all?
Ooh.
Jack can't see it, but it's really funny.
There,
I'm
the group.
confused.
It's okay. There, the group took a rest to rest up, and that is where we will pick up in the sanctuary of the Rangers, located in the Weathered Hills, north of Weathertop. Maracar, you are severely wounded and injured. Healed enough to get you here, just about. What are you all doing as you've all had a short sleep? You can roll hit dice. That's pretty much where you're at.
Kevin, I don't know about anybody else, but I heard we can roll hit dice, and what sounded like you starting the beginning to Mr. Roboto.
Here's the thing. I don't have any hit dice left, and I am dying. Wait, I've got one hit dice left.
Well, I got to about half, but I'm out.
Yeah.
Cool, that 5
Currently,
me well. I'm now up to 9.
Oh.
currently, yeah, you have just had a chance to take a short rest. Hence, you being given the opportunity to roll hit dice. if you wish to take a long rest, you are going to have to stay a little bit longer and just recoup and recover from the fight.
How long are you thinking?
Probably the rest of the day and one more sleep, potentially.
I vote we stay and get the sleep. We're gonna need it.
Yeah, I don't got anything. I'm useful for healing and stabbing, and one of those things I'm good at.
So-
Merrick,
Go on.
So, go ahead.
I was gonna say Maracar is probably just gonna be spending most of the time just kind of laying in bed, being apathetic boy.
As Orelion gets to feeling better, Kevin, stop doing that. It's too funny. He will go as he gets to feeling better, as he's able to like move around. He will get up and go check on Maracar. Probably not saying anything, but just making sure that his bandages are clean.
Yeah, if you don't say anything, Maracar will just thank you for checking his bandages, and maybe like as you're about to leave, he'd just quietly say, "Hey, I'm glad we're all right. Glad you're okay."
He just kind of nods and just walks out of the room.
As I'd be waiting on the outside of the room as Aurelion leaves. I turn to him and say, "So how long?"
Brooke, you're so terrible at this. Just say what you want. We
How
don't.
long is it going to be before you start respecting your own life and stop putting the rest of us in danger when we go to save you?
I could ask you the same thing. You're putting yourself at you were put yourself at risk to save me. I realize you did save me, but if you had died, that would have been the end of it. And these two would have had to carry on our task.
Well, as it turns out, if I hadn't left, you would have died, leaving the three of us. I saved you. It is now the four of us.
Oh, and we're so much better having with me being here.
Yeah. Yeah, turns out, yeah.
Rook, just get some rest. We don't have time to be bickering like this. Or apparently we have all the time in the world since Halbarad's not here. Glad we put our lives at risk again for nothing. What, nothing to say to that?
Well, I have plenty I want to say to that. If you weren't seconds from death, I would punch you directly in your face.
Well, you're not, so, and he will slap you.
Oh! No, you didn't.
Made me mad, bro. It's not hard, but it doesn't, you're not sure if it's like the full weight of him, like being able to hit
See
because
what I
he's
got here. Hold on.
It's
This
not
is
the
a lot
full
that you're
weight.
Not sure.
It's not the full weight of Aurelion's 6th strength.
What? Rook just takes this stuff off, drops it next to him. Say, "All right, you asked for it." And
Did
I
you just take your clothes
slap
off?
you back. No, my bow and my sword and all
Okay.
the sharp objects that can hurt him.
Look, you just said stuff, and I know you and Maracar like to wrestle, so I'm just clarifying here.
we made a joke
Because
about
we
the
all
family town.
we've all established that Maracar's people mud wrestle. Okay, we've established this. This is canon. I'm just checking here. Look, we got rid of Kevin.
He takes off his weapons and all the sharp objects that may hurt somebody and drops them next to him.
Thank you for the clarification.
He's going to grab his legs, pick him up, and slam him down.
Me?
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
That's fine. Aurelion's just like got his arms crossed and is just waiting for this. Well, Kevin's not here. What do we do?
I'm gonna say I need to make an athletics on that.
I
Yeah,
thought
go
he
for
was.
it.
I thought he was messing around because on stream he keeps flashing.
That's
He's
a
going
21.
black, and then his
I'm pretty
camera
sure.
comes back up. But he's got this. I realize now he's just frozen with this crazy grin on his face.
See, what he was doing before is that he would have two sources open. So it was just Kevin from two different views. That's why I kept laughing. And they were right next to each other, so I'm just getting double Kevin.
His face.
I don't.
It's not even over here.
He's
but
not
it's-
even in the
it's
call
in
anymore, and
chat.
it just keeps coming back up.
Kevin should just like call us at Discord.
Oh my god.
Hold on, I got an idea.
This is a mess.
Can we do like a group call and just have oh wait. There he is. Oh, Kevin.
There's sideways, Kevin. We're good. Oh no! No! Gotta mute that. That was not good.
Oh,
Kevin's now a turkey.
it's
Oh,
bad
there we
enough
go.
You guys have to hear my voice twice. We shouldn't hear it infinitely.
It's okay. Nobody else did. I muted it all. We're safe.
Oh my
I'm-
god.
Am I sideways or am I?
You're sideways.
You're something, man. You're something.
Now you're a laptop.
Or an airplane.
There you go.
Vroom.
Oh no.
Oh my
Oh, no.
goodness.
All right, so Orelion slapped me, and then I took off my weapons. I let him go, and I made an athletics check because I'm gonna pick him up and slam him.
Okay.
Now we're all mad.
Yeah, Kevin, look what you missed.
And I rolled a 21 on my athletic. Oh,
He's gone again.
Hold on.
Train wreck.
Here, just deafen everyone else except for Kevin.
Mhm.
Well, I'm calling you guys in Discord, but no one's picking up.
Oh.
We don't want to talk to you, Ray.
Rude.
Are we supposed to answer?
There.
Okay.
Can you also hear me on this?
Yeah.
Okay, I muted myself on Discord.
Then Kevin, I don't think Kevin can hear you if we do that.
Okay, never mind. Back.
Right. Okay.
All right,
I am
he's
not
back.
messing with anything else anymore. I need to find out what the hell is wrong with this laptop. and
Can we
why-
start a GoFundMe for Kevin to get like a modern piece of equipment?
Yeah.
He just needs to go to Pound General and get dollar
That's
pound.
probably
No, downtown.
Pound
That's
town.
why. That's why.
yeah, that's where he got in the first place.
All right, so I rolled a 21 on my athletics to pick him up and slam him on the ground.
Okay. I believe Orelion would get to make an acrobatics or athletics check to avoid the grapple.
You're
He
fucking.
wasn't paying attention. He
No, I'm
wasn't
looking
even
right
paying.
at you.
You said you were just waiting for this.
Yes, I
Okay.
crossed my arms and I'm waiting for it. What else do you think that means?
I
And
don't
you're
know.
funny if you think I'm going to use athletics.
You have to, because I used athletics.
No, I was told acrobatics or
Okay,
athletics.
well,
It doesn't matter because
Okay.
it's 7.
So, Rook, you step up to Orelion and you manage to get a hold of Orelion. So Orelion is grappled. You're going to have to make another contested check to see if you can complete the slam, shall we say?
All right.
19.
7.
Damn.
Not
go.
about to
So-
blow my
That
inspiration.
sounds about right.
Yeah. So it's more of a hip toss than like full on body slam. Are you just tossing him over your hip onto the floor, or
Mhm.
yeah? Okay.
Onto
How
the
does
floor.
Aurelion react to this?
He is going to attempt to kick Rook in the leg to get him onto my level, bro.
Okay.
Like behind the knee.
Leg sweep.
Okay. You can give me an acrobatics.
There's an 11 again.
Okay. Rook, acrobatics or athletics?
Ooh.
Mine was
Okay. So, Orelion, you use your lower body, your legs, as you're on your back, and you hook Rook's legs, and so you are tangled together. He hasn't tripped, but you are tangled together. Damrod and Maracar.
Yeah, Maracar. This is right outside Maracar's room, I imagine.
Think of it as more like bunks rather than like bedrooms, because this is effectively a cave. Yes, it's been carved out and it's been tended to, but it's still very much a cave with like bunk beds off to the side, a little alcove just for someone to sleep in. So, Maracar and Damrod, are you witnessing this?
Yeah, Maracar would watch, but he'd just be relaxing, just kind of watching what's going on.
What is happening right now?
Is it?
I mean, you're not aware of what's going on?
No, that I'm talking about the whatever sound is happening.
Oh, that's not me.
Dumb.
It's Kevin.
No, I think it was Nate.
I think it was Nate.
He was doing it before he moved his mic. It is Kevin, I think. Oh, God.
What is that?
He's chewing gum or something.
It sounds like gremlins.
I think it's just I think it's just some feedback.
Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah. Not what?
I thought it was the cat.
Yeah, she eats her toes really loud.
I mean, look at how loudly she's eating her toes. She needs to calm down.
I'm sorry for making fun of you. It's okay.
I'm sorry too.
She's self-conscious about her feet. She went, ah.
All right.
Okay, that's better. Oh, Kevin's gone again.
He's still in the call. He's just black screened right now, so he might have just he might just have turned his camera off, which is exactly what Dump is suggesting, just to do audio that might help. If hopefully he can hear. There he is.
He's got headphones on this time.
Now there's an echo.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with.
Yeah, you're fine, man.
It seems to be working that way, Kevin. It seems to be working.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be working fine that way. So we'll stick with that. And
okay. Superb.
Yeah,
we will certainly stick with the fact that I'm just going to go black screen for this until I get
perfectly fine.
Devices working.
Yeah,
you're the lore master. You don't need to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Although we would like to see. Don't make me feel bad.
We miss you.
I think Damrod at some point just turned, like when this started. I think Damrod was there, maybe laying on one of the bunks. And when this started going south, and kind of like I don't want to say snapped, but kind of called out Orelion about not caring about his life and whatnot. I think he just kind of rolled over and like put his back
And then he
towards the
just hears
situation.
He didn't do a damn thing.
I mean, he could, but Damrod's trying really hard not to make Orelion mad again. And he's not
Well,
sure
don't worry, you didn't.
he's not sure if getting
I'm doing
involved
that
with
for
this
you.
would make it worse. So he's just gonna leave it be.
And then you just hear like a slap. Do you turn it around for that?
I think if anyone was watching, they'd see Damrod like start to roll over and maybe get like a quarter of the way and then like stop and think about it for a second and then back over. He's listening to what's happening, but he's trying. He's
Not doing shit.
you can't see his face, but on his like, if you were to look at his face, you could tell he's trying really hard to stay out of what's happening.
Are we still going at it, man?
Yeah, dude. Like, I gotta like get your leg off mine.
Yeah. He's never been much for wrestling, so he's just going for all the cheap stuff that he doesn't really know is cheap, honestly.
Aurelion
Well,
pulls out
Rook's
a
not
gun,
really wrestling with
shoots
you.
him in the
he's
leg.
Like Rook's not really mad, like wrestling. He's actually mad.
Yeah. And I don't know, you probably wouldn't get this feeling that Aurelion is mad. It's more like he knows that you're upset and he wants you to get it out of you.
Well, it's going down. So
Yeah.
I like how Aurelion's never like been in fisticuffs, so he just thinks this is wrestling, and like that's just what you do.
Yeah, he doesn't understand.
But like Rook's trying to fight.
Mhm. Rook's doing his best.
I ain't taking this crap no more.
That's concerning. I just heard something fall in the hallway.
We heard it too.
I'm sure it's just a
sorry.
burglar.
It's fine.
Yeah.
What's he gonna
Hey,
find? Money? I can find
If
that.
look, if nothing else that has happened today has stopped us from playing Middle Earth, neither is a burglar in Ray's house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He can just get out.
As long as he doesn't steal the router or the PC, we're fine.
Kevin's gonna leave.
How do we know he's
Kevin's
even here?
controlling
He's not even
today.
talking anymore.
We have no idea.
Is he here? I can't tell.
Lore Master.
His his unmute button broke now, and so he can't talk.
We need guidance. Whose turn is it?
Are we doing combat?
All right, let's just do another acrobatics versus athletics. Ready, go.
That sounds like something that Kevin would say.
Yeah. I think he would. I think he would say to do that.
Ooh, beat that. You cannot!
Oh, the turns have tabled.
Finally. I
Oh,
need
yeah. Inspiration.
Wow.
Give me some inspiration on that.
You're gonna
Good use of inspiration.
Chuck.
Beat up your cousin.
What? What?
Are you really gonna use inspiration?
Hey,
Oh.
hey, we get one every night. He might as well.
Yeah. Not as good.
Yeah, he's only got an hour to use it.
That's why you save it. Okay, Kevin says he can hear, but why can't you hear me? Here, let me try calling again.
Do we need to pick up?
Oh, Kevin's in the call now. Kevin,
What
say
call?
something. Okay. Okay, guys, get on the Discord call. You can hear him there.
All right, stay here
Okay.
if you can, and I'll just
Yes,
use
stay
y'all's
here.
cams, and I'll mute all of y'all, and then I'll just pull the sound from Discord.
That'll work.
Oh, what a-
Hey, well, we hear you for sure.
Yes, that's
Oh.
actually really good.
All right.
Little echo.
All right, so we
Yeah.
rolled again. It sounded like you would say do another acrobatics versus athletics, and
Oh, we did.
Orelion won this time.
Yeah. I mean, we can keep going until you sort of are happy enough to resolve it. But you might as well just do it in a narrative way. And
Okay,
describe, and describe together how the scene would be resolved in the end.
All right, so Aurelian's just doing cheap shots, doing anything he can to like get you off of him, but also like he doesn't seem that interested in necessarily winning this fight. Like I said, it's more like he just wants you to get your emotions out, but also he's trying to make sure you do not actually like blind him or anything.
He'd be trying to keep you pinned. Obviously, it's not keeping pinned. Obviously, it's not working. So I guess when you get to your feet, he would give you one last headbutt to your nose and then back off. A little cheap headbutt coming up, just bam.
Yeah, he would stagger back, nose bloody, like just holding his nose. There, you got it out. Are you happy now?
Yes.
Are you gonna pout about it some more?
We can. I can throw you down again.
You can certainly try.
He doesn't say anything. He picks up his sword and his dagger and his stuff, and he just kind of saunters away to go rest.
And Aurelian's gonna go rest also. And it's if I imagine he tries to go to a place that's further away from the others, just so that he's not hanging out there. But if you guys are near him, then he would be exhausted.
It's maybe towards the end of this first rest sleep that you would have had when you first arrived. Obviously, the elves don't actually sleep themselves, they just trance and don't need as much time to rest. And that's probably where this little spat, shall we say, came from or happened.
And we're fighting.
So it's towards the end of this rest that the two younger rangers arrive back at the hideout, at the sanctuary, and they see the sort of tension that's in here at the moment, and they'll sort of look around the room, look at each other, do a little shrug, and come and speak to you, Damrod. Damrod, are you up? Are you awake? Are you rested?
I
Muted.
We've.
You guys hear me?
Nathan, you're muted.
Not muted.
I can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me refresh.
Ray's probably deafened or muted me herself.
Charlie, we see your mouth moving, but we can't hear you either.
Oh, Ray's trying to listen through VDO. We've switched to Discord. Okay. That's why Ray couldn't hear me.
Okay.
This is a
Are you sure
wreck.
it's the cat?
I know. My apologies,
Ray.
everyone.
Ray,
My
can you hear
own
me?
technical difficulties.
There. Does that work?
Yep.
Got it.
Okay, cool.
Somebody tell Ray to listen in Discord.
Ray, listen in Discord.
I'm listening.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm sorry. That was completely my bad.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Now we can't hear. I can't hear Nate.
Nate, unmute yourself in Discord. We're just using this for
Hello.
camera.
Ooh, that
Yes.
sounds smooth.
So you guys can mute
Mute
and deafen
VDO.
everything in
Mute
video. We're just using that for cameras now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Gotcha.
How far we've
All right.
advanced.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Let's keep going.
Let's go. So the two rangers come and find you and ask if you are up Damrod and awake.
Damrod just, I guess, like swings out of the bunk bed or cot or whatever he is lying in, and stands up and greets them himself. Um, have they been like out scouting or making sure the wolves aren't around, or do we know what they were out doing?
Yeah. I imagine you would assume that they've been out watching, scouting.
Ah, yes, watching on the hills.
Yeah, indeed. We have headed back to the road, and we have not seen any more signs of wolves. It appears that they have been driven off. It also appears you killed the pack leader of the wargs.
Good. Maybe that will
They
be less. Maybe that group will be less trouble.
their den was in the South Downs. They certainly have caused trouble, but I'm not sure why they have came so far north. They usually hunt much further south than here. The road they have troubled in the past, but we usually keep them and drive them away. For them to have come this way again and to have actually stalked you, it seems, is unusual for this time.
Is that the direction that we came from with the troll cave and the other orcs and stuff like that?
Yeah, the troll cave was south of the road, but much further west towards Bree. Um, yeah. Give me a history or law. Probably, yeah, probably history or survival, I think.
Because wargs are like at least somewhat intelligent, right?
Yeah, they can
Yes,
talk.
yes, they've been known to talk. They
All
have
right.
their own language as well as being able to sometimes speak Westron, which is the common language.
Did you say history or lore or either one?
History or survival.
Well, my survival's better than history, but I usually roll terrible, so let's roll survival. There we go.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah. Um,
I
you
can't
you
get us
know of this.
anywhere, but I know a lot.
He knows stuff.
You know you know much of the lands south of the road because those are the lands of Cardolan, the former one of the former kingdoms of Arnor. When it separated into three kingdoms, um, it's also the kingdom where your family dynasty has come from, I guess. And you know of the wolf den, which is pretty much directly south somewhere of Weathertop, in the South Downs itself, much further east than the where you found the troll cave.
I'm just basically like Damrod takes a minute and runs through everywhere that they've been in the last 2 weeks, 6 months. Um, just to kind of wonder if something that they did looking for this ring for Orelion may have stirred some of this up, or if this just happens to be a coincidence that they're coming from like that general direction. He's just, I don't know if he would say it out loud, um, unless he has a really good reason to believe that it might be because of that. But he's just wondering to himself if their escapades up to this point may have drawn this attention, or at least stirred that wolf's den up at some point.
What could we have done to stir up the wolves?
Looking
Uh oh, do we lose Ray?
No? Oh shoot! Hold on.
I
It's
heard
my
no.
cat.
I heard looking, and then that was it, and then you went quiet.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think my cat just unplugged my camera, but I am here. Let me figure
Yeah,
that out.
because we heard looking, and then you went quiet, and your video froze.
I said looking for a ring.
Okay,
So
should have called this
give
stream "Scuffed
me
in the Hills."
indeed. Um, do you ask the other two at all? And you know their names as Riordal and Solus. Riordal is the male, and Solus is the female. They are twins.
Um, I can't. I don't think I will tell them exactly what happened. And why, specifically why. But Damrod would mention that a certain time ago, this was all before the fellowship phase. So a certain time ago, they were in uh, kind of where the troll cave was, and kind of, I guess, like explain where they traveled on their quest without telling about the quest, and just let them know, and just kind of muse and wonder if any of that could have stirred up any of that trouble, or if this just happens to be a coincidence. Um, and probably ask if there's been like more wolf attacks recently, or warg attacks, if the activity's been um more than usual.
They both would sort of look at you quizzically before responding. You killed the old troll. You four?
Well, some of us were less help than others, but yes, the four of us.
Oh, we have not seen much of where he has been for some time now. I guess that must have been your doing.
Yes, I
We
believe someone put part of him in a dike in Bree, if you are looking for him.
we did hear of something similar, but did not think that it would be the old troll. No, I don't think the wolves and the troll, they kept themselves apart as for most of the time. The Something else must have stirred them up.
Are you saying this, Damrod, while we're in the room? Or are you trying to keep it separate?
I mean, I don't, unless they took me off somewhere. I think they just kind of came up to
Yeah, they did.
my bunk and just started talking. I mean, I guess depending on if they kind of walked away or whatever. Because Damrod would have just stood up and started talking to him. So I guess it depends on Kevin.
Yeah, no, they would have pretty much done it in the same vicinity as you all.
I would hop up and like, what do you mean? What do you mean the elves did it?
And furthermore, when we were in Rivendell, there were some dwarves that had problems in the south. That was not caused by us.
Well,
Did I
perhaps they are. Go on.
did I miss something? I thought you said something
No.
else must have.
Yeah.
Did you say some
Oh,
elves must have, or something else?
What Charlie's
the
talking about. He said it wasn't the elves, and I said it wasn't us, like us as a collective, because there were some problems in the south with the dwarves. That definitely wasn't us. Things are just bad everywhere.
Okay, I was just making sure that I didn't mishear Kevin, and these two people are blaming the elves for the wargs. I was making
no,
sure.
No, I think
that
you're blaming like us as a collective.
Yeah,
For,
yeah.
and I was just saying no, that doesn't seem to be the case.
It just lined up too well with the other elf saying that,
It
and
did.
directly
It did.
after the first elf.
It
So
did.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
they would certainly turn and look at the elves and say, the there doesn't seem to be much traffic coming north up the Greenway. It's been reported. We've not seen it. We've not left here for a while now, but we have heard others who have passed through say that there are strangers on the road. Rumor of, rumor of outlaws down near the Sarn Ford, and well, strange people, refugees from Barbad and beyond, have been passing up and heading towards Bree. Dwarves, you say? We've not seen dwarves of late. Their traffic on the east-west road has certainly lightened. Do you know of the troubles that these dwarves have had?
Yes, Master Dwarlin, I believe was his name, he said that his kin was missing. He was worried enough to come to Rivendell to speak to Lord Elrond directly. And if there's no worse sign in all of Middle Earth, it should be a dwarf coming to seek refuge with an elf.
We've not heard of any missing dwarves ourselves, but it does seem that there is trouble somewhere in the south that is perhaps has riled up the wolves. I just hope that it is very much just them being displaced rather than any greater threat that has tried to coerce them.
I think that at this point we should be prepared for anything. There's wolves stalking these lands. There's orcs in the marshes. A troll near Bree. Dwarves going missing. Strangers and refugees traveling the lands
A gray
by
wizard
shelter.
heading to the Shire.
Quickly.
That
With
they
the
would both, again, they would both look at each other before looking at you. The Grey Wizard. He has passed through here.
What is this about a great wizard?
Oh,
Oh. I imagine you mean Mithrandir, Gandalf.
Poor Maracar, he's probably so lost.
Quincy hat.
I mean, so is Nate, to be fair, so.
I know who Gandalf is.
You know who Mithrandiel is?
It's probably Gandalf.
Yes, you got it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Context clues for the win. No, Maracar, honestly, Maracar, he's awake, but he's just like kind of intently staring off into the ceiling. You know, he'll look over every once in a while. But it seems like almost like he's like in his own little room at the moment.
Blung and I were heading back towards Bree. We happened upon him. He said he was going to the Shire. For what, I could not tell you. He mentioned something about his old Toby, but one doesn't ride with that level of intensity when they're just going for some tobacco.
Always. He has always seemed to ride here and there with intensity, you say. That is not usually his way unless he has great haste or need. I wonder what has stirred him so for him to do this and ride to the Shire. However, we've been watching the east side of the hills. We once again can see one or two campfires in the hinterlands there. That of late has been our biggest problem. The wild men have come down from the hills of Rudawa and from Angmar itself. We broke up their camp, and here they will both look over to Maracar. That one helped. And Damrod here. Before the winter really hit. We broke their camp, scattered them. But they are trickling back again. We see their fires off in the distance. But you came to see your father, right, Damrod?
Well, someone came to see my father.
We were coming to inquire if he might know a certain woman named Baralas. I don't suppose that means anything to the two of you.
Baralas. Only that it sounds like a Dunedain name. Perhaps one from our cousins in the south, in Gondor. But it means nothing to us. Who is she?
Well, that doesn't need to concern you. I suppose what does concern us with you is where we can find Halbarad. He would probably know more about where to find her if he does know her, or maybe where to point us in the right direction.
Very well, you can keep your secrets.
I get the joke.
Halbarad is the marshal has travelled to the north, and I'm sorry, he has gone to see the old man at Fornost in the North Downs.
Damrod, is that a place you're familiar with? Or will it take us another 2 weeks to reach there when it ought to take us just a few days?
Do you always have to be so gloomy, cousin? Try to be optimistic.
Well,
Yes, there's much to be optimistic about in this situation.
well, with the current fellowship we have assembled, it should take us about 6 months to get there.
Fake news.
Is that something that I'm familiar with? We talked about this, I think, last session, maybe.
Listen, it's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
I know, and I imagine we're probably all actually talking about it again. I'm just saying, I think we did establish that it was several days at the least.
I think you're right.
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
I can't believe I
Um,
got it right.
So for us, about 6.
Uh,
Damrod would let fill Aurelion in on that. The time it would take to get there.
Sorry, using my phone, just disconnected everything again. Stupid technology. Yeah, it'll take about 2 weeks to get there. I don't think Damrod will have been there yet. Probably not been there before. It's quite some way away.
Now, what happens if we go there, spend all this time, and oh, Damrod, he's just decided to go home? What then? Shall we come back here?
Damrod looks at you almost hurt. That's a choice we have to make. do you want to wait and see if he comes back home, or perhaps you could find a way to perhaps we could find a way to get a message to him, or we could travel there, or we could go back to Pound Breland, or
Do you, Dunedain, have means of sending word through carrier pigeons?
do we have a means of sending words through birds?
You do not,
Do carrier
unfortunately.
pigeons exist in? Do pigeons exist in general in Middle Earth? This is
I'm sure pigeons do exist. Yeah, unfortunately, there are no, because of fixed locations. There aren't many fixed locations. Then carrier pigeons would not be very helpful.
They only work from the tower in Mordor to Gondor. That's the only carrier pigeons that go back and forth.
Oh, those
Yeah.
are carrier eagles, though, aren't they?
No. That's a completely different thing, Ray.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One's evil, one's not.
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
Sauron sending Denethor like troll threats.
He's just sending memes to Gondor.
He's been fail.
Damrod, I mean, he's relaying all this, and I mean, he does kind of look to you as in like he doesn't say it, but he gives you that look of like what do you suggest? Because like we all wanted to talk to Halbarad here, about what's happening, but he's not here, and now we have to. I mean, we do have to take the chance of traveling there and him not be there again.
Kevin, how long has he been gone? Can you tell us that again?
He has been gone for maybe 6-7 days.
And I believe you mentioned he may not be returning. Is that correct?
Well, after Damrod here told us about the orcs passing through the marshes, they had to be coming from somewhere, and the gap between the Weather Hills and the North Downs are the most likely thing. The old man up there, he he holds the North Downs as his own ward as such, and he will be doubling all efforts to ensure that the orcs are not finding a way around the North Downs to come down upon the free folk at Bree. I suspect, Damrod, that your father would stay and ensure that this is done. The old man used to be the old first marshal. He passed it on to your father, Halbarad, when he told us that he had become too old himself, and he retired to the North Downs.
Kevin, where on the map is the North Downs?
It's north of the Weather Hills.
Correct.
Oh, dang, it is.
South Downs is down, North Downs is up.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I imagine it's just because my thought process is maybe we could back up to the Midwater Marshes, but that would be like a completely different way. What do you have any sort of maps that show what path he may have taken?
I suspect that he would have travelled the paths on the west side of the hills. That side we have more cover and we can travel a lot more secretively. The east side can sometimes be spotted from anybody who is in the open on that side. We tend to use and hold the Weather Hills as a barrier to Bree and the Shire itself. the first line of defense, I guess you would say. That's why we hold this here in the south, near Weathertop. There is one midway and another sanctuary at the far northern tip of the Weather Hills.
So, what about this? What if we stayed here long enough for our wounds to heal, and then we made our way down that path? If Halbarad is on his way back, he would be most likely to come along that path as well. We could stop at this sanctuary on the way to ensure he's not there. Maybe leave a note in case he happens to come by and we miss him, just instructing him to stay there.
That makes a lot of sense. He would stop at the sanctuaries unless he has great haste, but if you do stop by them, you would most likely find him there if he's coming back this way.
Unfortunately, this might be, and I'll turn to the rest. This might be our best bet outside of hunting down that dwarf Gror. And that likely won't end well for any of us.
Didn't last time.
And this is the dwarf that assailed you in the marshes.
Putting it lightly.
We've been trying to find the location of this Gror for you. Our best bet is that perhaps he is in association with those outlaws to the south towards the Sarnford.
That could be another possibility, to go and see about finding them. But if they came after us, then they likely know less than we do. And of course, that runs the risk that we would be walking into the wolf's den, as it were.
And I'm tired of wolves.
Maracar, are you well enough to travel soon? Or do we need to make this an extended stay?
Maracar, he's kind of looking up and he takes a second and then it almost like he almost has to like remind himself that there are other people in the room, and he looks over and he says, yeah, I can go. I'm good to go whenever. And he starts getting out of bed a little slower than he'd like to.
Yeah,
Maracar,
probably still wincing from your wounds that aren't potentially fully healed yet.
Yeah.
Maracar, we don't meet at this moment. I'm sure the rest of us need to get some rest as well. We can go at first light tomorrow.
And he stops kind of halfway, almost relieved that that we're taking the night, and he like looks over to his side and kind of like nods and is like, yeah, I know. And he gets back into the bed and starts nestling in to take another nap.
The twins would lean into you, Damrod. Is that one going to be okay? I do not remember him being so sullen when he was here with you last time.
He has been through a lot as of late, as well as all of us nearly dying
Again.
merely hours ago. Do you? And Damrod's gonna like lean even closer and quietly ask, "Do you have any strong spirits here?"
I think we can maybe find some.
That may help some of their moods.
I will look. And yeah, they both would sort of disappear. There's a few twisting side branching tunnels where the larder is and where the armory is. They come back perhaps half hour or so later with some food as well as a bottle of strong strong spirits of some sort. Here, this is this was left by one of us. We've not seen them for a while. I'm sure they won't mind.
He's gonna take the bottle. In the meantime, as they were looking for this, Damrod's gonna try to see if he can kind of take Rook off to the side. Ask Rook if he can speak with him in private.
Sure. You kind of get up from where he's at and go off where Damrod wanted to go.
Two elves have just been sitting there, like in their little corners, just every so often looking over their shoulder at each other. And
I know that you bought something for you in Maracar before you left Bree. I hope that you have some of that, and I hope that maybe you can try to cheer Maracar up with it. We are all injured, Rook. Please remember no wrestling. You and Orelion have fought enough for the day. But if we can, I believe Maracar will recover much faster if we can help him recover his spirit as well.
How about the hagweed I have?
I think he bought some old toe beans or something like that. He's also going to mention.
I never added it, but I do have it.
Yeah, I think he got 2 bricks of it.
Yeah.
You got 2 ounce bags.
2 ounce bags. Yeah.
He's also gonna mention the fact that the other 2 rangers are looking for some spirits, and just kind of confide in Rook that Damrod's gonna try to not keep everyone from resting. He obviously wants everyone to rest, but try to at least bring everyone's spirits up after what happened.
Well, if we can get him out of bed, then I can try.
We don't even need him out of bed necessarily. We just need to get him to sit up.
He would dig in his bag and find his supplies, like, I got this one. And he would just kind of like walk into where Maracar's at, like, just kind of like playfully poke him. Maracar, hey. I got some of this.
Hey, what's up?
I got some of this. Come here, sit up, sit up.
All
He gets
right,
like
all right.
he like gets
Give me a
pillows
second.
set up like behind him to where he's like propped up because he's what's something like that.
Yeah, Maracar, he'd get up and kind of like start stretching out a little bit, and kind of like, when when your body just hurts good, like it feels good, but it also hurts really bad. I feel like that's kind of what Maracar is trying to force himself to believe,
I brought you something.
and he gets up.
I brought you something that'll cheer you up.
Oh yeah.
Got a whole bunch of this last time, and he would pull out his like pipe supplies. He starts stuffing the pipe with it, and he like hands it to him.
and you'd see he'd have a he would trying to get the right words here.
He would toke up.
He would give you a familiar smile, but his eyes have just lost that innocence. You know what I mean? So he's trying his best to be just like he was, but you get the sense that a little bit of him is just a little bit. It's gone, but he starts smoking and hanging out, and you see he's starting to kind of get back into the normal feel of things the best he can. He still hurts though.
Bring up anything of any kind of like reminder of what we went through, nothing like that. Just talking about our travels whenever we were gone, the playfulness that we had with the dwarves.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
acts.
He definitely ask you about, how is Rivendell, and he'd ask you like to describe how the buildings looked and what did you guys eat when you were there. He'd be real interested in all that.
He'd lean in close and like, better than the crap we're eating on the road, I can tell you that much.
And uh yeah, he would express that his favorite meal is actually the little bread bowls of of bacon and eggs. He's like, that's my favorite thing, and I hope every time we go out on the road, I have a big stack of them. They go
Bacon.
bad. They go bad real quick though.
Bacon. Is that like pig?
Yeah. Bacon is the specific part of the pig that comes from the shoulder. I found out.
Oh. You have to cook me this bacon.
Next time we're back in Bree, well, I'll talk to Barman. That's not his name.
Barleyman.
Parliament.
Barleyman. Oh,
Yeah.
I was close this time.
You were pretty
Uh,
close.
Yeah, he was like, he
Good
taught
for
me
you.
how to make it. Wait, is it the shoulder? It might be the butt. I don't know. It's either the shoulder or the butt of the pig, but it makes the best tasting meal ever.
That sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like raccoon.
Is it a forest fish also?
No, more like think of like, you ever have a crawdad?
That was out of character, my dude. I'm not talking to you.
I'm not talking to you. Oh, is Aurelia mad at me?
No, he's just not in the mood. You're
Same.
probably the only one he's not mad at right now.
That's pretty wild. But
So
yeah,
here,
he'd go on. He'd go on and on.
so here's the thing about that. At some point during Maracar and Rook's conversation and recreation, um, that the bottle of spirits gets brought in to Damrod, and Damrod goes and offers some to Aurelion.
As soon as you get over there, he will just take it from you and take like the biggest swig you've ever seen him take of any drink.
Whoa.
Damrod,
He's not taking all of it. He's not taking all of it.
I thought he didn't.
Damrod just starts like
They didn't
waving
drink.
towards Rook if he tries, like, if any sign of Rook saying anything. Damrod's like hand behind his back, just waving Rook to shut up.
He's like, Miracle.
And Maracar would look, and he'd be confused. And then he remembers that time where Aurelion took his drink and told him to slow down. And and he goes,
Though.
"Huh. Okay." And he takes another puff, And he's just gonna keep an eye on Orelion.
Damrod's just like standing there, like waiting to see if Aurelion passes the bottle back or just keeps.
He puts it on the ground. He puts it on the ground, but like far enough away from him that you can tell that it's like he wasn't going to continue drinking, but close enough to you that you can tell that he's being passive aggressive. Which is the only kind of aggressive he is most of the time.
Yeah, Damrod's gonna take a chance. And he's not gonna sit like directly next to Aurelion, but he's gonna grab a stool or a bench or a chair or a log or something like close enough to where if the bottle starts being able to be passed back and forth, like he can do it. If Aurelion decides to talk to him, he can do it. Yeah, and he's gonna just sit down, and he isn't gonna say anything, but he's gonna take a big draft of the spirits as well.
And being that close to him, you can see that he has that journal out, and you thought he was reading, but you can tell that he's just staring at the page, and like his eyes aren't moving. It's just he wants to look like he's doing something.
He's full of crap.
And I think Damrod's just gonna let you be, but he's also gonna just be there too. Like he's not like overbearing on you. He's watching Maracar and Rooke, but he's also like being mindful of what you're doing as well. Taking a swig of the bottle every now and then, and if not actually passing it to you, setting it between you two a little bit closer to you, so you know it's your turn if you want some, kind of thing.
Yeah, whenever it comes over, he would take a big swig of it, and then just like do the same thing. He's not passing it, but he's just kind of just existing, pretty much.
And Maracar is not drinking.
He doesn't want that crossfade.
No.
Is Rooke drinking?
No.
Is Rooke smoking, or is that just Maracar?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think Maracar, the first time the bottle gets to him, he might take a small sip, but then he'd take a sip, but maybe like he would stop, look at it, and then just pass it over to Rooke or Damrod, whoever is gonna take it. But yeah, you see that he was gonna start drinking, but then just thought about it for a second.
Pass it on. I don't need it.
Well, I guess it's mostly Aurelion's then, isn't it?
It is.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's not actively seeking it out, but every time it comes near him, he takes a big ol' swig.
And the more and more that happens, Maracar might say something smart every so often. And it's like, oh wow, you're really getting deep in there, aren't you?
Yeah, he
It's
doesn't
like
say.
you might want to slow down there.
I bet this feels great for Maracar right now, though.
It's very not a Maracar thing to do.
Which is a little concerning, actually.
But yeah, other than that, he doesn't like try starting anything, But
Is Kevin still there?
I am still here. I've just been listening.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to make sure you didn't get disconnected.
No. The evening can pass on with the twins cooking some things that they've hunted. So you actually get a bit of a stew with some mystery meat in it, potentially some raccoon, or possum, but most likely it's rabbit, as well as perhaps some
And it,
boar. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
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 What'd you say,
Okay.
Charlie?
I thought Chuck was gonna say something.
No, I was reading Raisin.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Like I said, most likely rabbit. As well as some pheasant potentially, or some other bird that you can find out in the wilderness.
Maracar would, as we're eating, he would take the time and thank everyone for sticking with him. And then he would, he'd say, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to be there for everyone. You know, I was having fun when the wolves started attacking us. I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it was, and I was wrong. And I put you all in danger because I didn't carry my weight to my fullest. And I just wanted to apologize for that.
I think you carried your weight just fine myself.
I don't need that.
No one blames
I'm-
what happened back there.
I understand, but I felt that it was necessary to apologize. That's it. I don't need reassurance. I don't need comforting. I just wanted to make that known. And I appreciate you guys for sticking with me here.
I
And
don't
then
even know what to say.
yeah, he'd just sit down and he'd keep eating throughout the night. You might see him almost looking at someone that's not there, like that like sits next to him. He doesn't say anything out loud or anything like that, but he'll like nod over in the distance or kind of like shrug his shoulders, stuff like that.
Why do I have the feeling that this dinner has the energy of like parents who have just fought and the kid that doesn't know how to deal with any of this, and the kids are the twins?
Yeah. They
That's accurate.
they've tried to sort of make some sort of conversation here and there. Actually staying away, actively staying away from Damrod. Actually, not Damrod. Maracar. Um, Speaking with Damrod. Whenever they do talk, but they will try and keep that. They've tried to keep themselves to themselves. They've been polite and whatnot. But in the end, they would say to Damrod and probably to the rest of you in earshot. So you are ready to leave tomorrow, yes?
I suppose.
Do you have everything that you need? Our stores will have more than enough for you to take if you need. Rations, food for the road. It won't get you all the way there, but you can certainly hunt.
I imagine that we'll need to make sure that our rations are filled before we leave.
It's a long shot, but I don't suppose you have any king's foil, aphalas, anything like that.
Yes, not so much a long shot. Aurelian, we have some in store that we can perhaps provide.
I would be more than willing to part with some money for that. Not sure how much you mountain folk use money, but I'd be remiss to take it from you with no compensation.
Damrod looks a little bit hurt when you say that. Specific, like it's just taking that probably the wrong way, but just looks a little bit hurt.
You can tell that he didn't mean it that way. It was more in the pompous elf way that he speaks most of the time.
You know, you people. I don't know how much you people use money.
You
You were saying the
mountain
people.
folk.
You were saying the people of the settlement.
Yeah, it was like you mountain folks. Like,
Mhm.
Oh, you got nasty mountains.
what does that mean?
It says my inventory says I have five Appalachians. I don't know where
Good.
that came from.
Oh, is that where? Is that what you took from Orelion?
Probably. I've got 7 in my
Probably.
inventory. I think. Did I? Wait, hold on. We were talking about this. Let me go check and see what our.
Yeah, because I got 5.
Rook,
Let me make
sure.
Rook bought the wrong weed. He's just been smoking Appalachia this whole time.
Oh my gosh, Aurelian would like right now. Where is it?
Feeling great though, just the same. It's healing the crap out of me.
Oh my gosh, what if there was like a weed that you could smoke that healed you?
It would be hilarious if Rook. The reason why Rook keeps getting through these battles with taking no damage wasn't because he was hiding. He thought he was really good, but it's really because he's just healing so quickly because he's just got that. He's got that in his system.
Yeah. I'm gonna joke from now on.
That's gonna show up on a drug test.
Oh yeah.
What
Kevin,
is that? Nobody knows what that is here.
Kevin, how much would it cost me to get some of that? Because I would love to buy some.
They would not take your coin.
Because I insulted them, or what?
No, it's more so just rules of the road.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure.
You know, those people don't use coin anyway.
Us mountain folks don't have no use for your gold.
If you got an extra set of teeth, I'd take that though.
I do like your boots.
Kevin,
Oh man, you can't take my boots.
Kevin, what are you talking about? You could absolutely do a southern accent.
He does one really well.
He does.
Wait until you see him southern walk.
Oh man,
Kevin walk period because I've never seen it before.
Yeah, we might have to wait some time for them to see my southern
Okay.
walk.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a special occasion.
How much did you have, Chuck?
5.
Okay, I had 9 total, so that means I have 4 left.
Nice.
All right, how much did I get from them?
They'll give you 4.
Lovely. Okay. Hang on to that Aphalas though. We could use that for later.
Will do.
Yeah, this way you don't have to run to Aurelion and dig it out of his pouch to use it.
Aurelion, I got hurt again.
I mean, you do have to prepare it, so you do have to spend some time actually preparing it.
Sound like that.
And let's be fair, it's more like Aurelion, you got hurt again.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You're so right.
Every time.
If we have some downtime, I would absolutely like to use it, like mortar and pesteling it up. If I'm able to do that and store it, maybe put it on.
I would say you can do 1 per long rest.
Okay.
Or per stop.
Per stop. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say. Can I say that I have 2 then? Because we've had. No. That was 1 long rest. I'll go ahead and say I've got 1.
Yeah. They would look at you, Damrod, and just say, Damrod, why are you not carrying your bow?
There's a long story behind that.
He broke it.
Yes. And that's the story.
You can take one from the armory.
the gods. You have no idea how much crap I've been given for not having a bow.
Oh, not near enough.
Is there anything else that you are missing? Flint? Torches?
His sense of direction.
Yeah, that's been missing.
Don't
My
agree with you.
dignity at this point.
Oh, come now. I'm sure they only joke.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a joke.
I will. If you have the supply, I believe all of us may check our equipment and see what you have available for us to better suit ourselves on the road.
Of course.
There are some
What is here
things.
you can help yourself to.
There are also some things that we have that we don't realize have been buried in the bottom of our packs. That we've discovered.
Oh? Like what?
Oh, yes, just it's quite often that 50 feet of rope can get lost in the bottom of your pack, and when you most need it, you discover that everyone has it.
Except you.
Oh, a bit like a lucky rabbit's token.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Hey, I have one of those. And he whips out
Dead
a broken
girlfriend.
rabbit.
My dead girlfriend made this for me. No, wait, I made this for my girlfriend.
And then
Oh,
one of them, Damrod, goes, or an armored sleeve. That should protect you, right?
Oh, no, I never lose that. I just forget how it works.
Well,
mean,
if you run into any wolves, please light a fire. It will help.
Uh we'll make sure to remember that the next time.
Can't
I'm
wait
sure
for
there
Kevin
will
to
be a
never-
next time.
I can't wait for Kevin to never throw wolves at us again.
No, why would you say that in Kevin's presence? Because now he's going to.
Well, yeah, but now we know the secret.
There's just 16 packs of wolves outside the cave when we leave this time.
The twins take off their clothes. They were wolves the whole time. They're like, this is my persona.
So the twins are furries. Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Essentially.
No, they're humies. They're wolves in disguise.
As soon as I
Maybe.
said it, I thought about humies, and then you said it.
Hey, humies is the canon thing in Death of the Deities, by the way. If y'all didn't watch those episodes of
Really?
Jarl's game, there's a dwarf in the Dwarven City that dresses in stilts and dresses like a human, and he calls himself a humie. There's a whole
my
group of
God.
them.
That's amazing.
They sound just as weird as furries.
They might be worse.
I mean, do they wear skin suits? That's the mark. That's the mark right there.
Kevin, are you still there to put us back on track?
Yes. So they would finish up any conversations they had with you for the night, and then they would retire to their cots, where they would settle in. What are the rest of you doing?
Getting what rest we can before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can all have now a long rest.
Yeah.
So any spent hit dice, you get half of them back.
Round up or round down?
Round down.
I don't got
Oof.
that problem because I'm even. Do we get all of our HP back?
Yeah, you get all your hit points back.
Nice.
Any features, they'll recover.
Would you like some pie?
You've effectively had a long rest because you've spent the whole day here resting and recuperating, as well as having like 2 sleeps.
Thank you for the raid, Big Boss. Welcome in, Raiders.
Woo!
Big boss.
Hello, fellow VTuber.
You can all get up before first light hits. The twins are there to prepare to see you off. You have some rations. They did have some bread that you could hollow out Maracar and fill with some bacon and some sausage, and that they had.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I like to see.
No eggs, unfortunately, but they
That's
had
fine.
mushrooms. They had mushrooms.
All bacon.
Ew, do you fill it all with bacon?
All bacon. That's it.
Gross. Do you have any cheese or potatoes?
All
Cheap.
bacon.
he
they
made
they
it pretty
do have
clear.
they do have cheese and potatoes, but Maracar is all bacon.
All bacon, but like shoulder bacon, so not actually bacon.
Okay, is I never had shoulder bacon. Is it still really greasy?
Shoulder bacon's not a real thing.
Oh.
Shoulder bacon is just basically like forest eggs.
Okay, forest fish?
Yeah,
Is that what you meant?
It's forest eggs. I like it.
No,
Yeah.
I meant forest eggs.
There's eggs in forest, man.
That's funny.
Orelion is just looking at you and he's like, Maracar, you're gonna have a heart attack if you eat all that.
He's so confused. Like he does not understand the words that came out of your mouth. He's like, why?
Because it's going to clog your arteries. Your ankles are going to swell because there's so much salt. You're going to be thirsty all day.
How do you know? How do you know?
Because I'm clairvoyant, Maracar. That's how I know.
Did you read it in a book?
Well, I don't know if I don't care if you're clear or not. Bacon is great and it's awesome and it's probably the healthiest thing that I eat. And then he lifts up his shirt to show his 6-pack abs and he would say, is this really the body of someone who's going to get arteries?
Real fast, you described him before as having a dad bod. It's in your name, Dad Bod of the South.
Well, he still thinks he has a 6-pack.
He still thinks he has a 6-pack.
It's just buried at the moment.
He lifts up and he's like, "You mean this situation?" No.
He's got a beer gut.
Yeah, he's like,
"It's this solid behind it?
Is this the body of someone who's gonna have a heart attack?"
Yeah.
Orelion will just shake his head and just keep eating. Like, I imagine he's having some kind of hash brown.
Yeah, with some onion in, unfortunately.
Yeah, that
Ooh, watch out, your liver's gonna get you.
How much I drank last night might. Wait, does Maracar know what a liver is? Does Maracar know what a heart is?
Yeah, no, I'm sure he does. Cause like he's been like out hunting and he's had like clean animals and stuff.
Okay,
he knows what the organs are.
Okay.
Maybe not like the specific parts of it, like an artery.
Okay,
that's
fair.
a weird word. But like he knows what a heart is. He knows what a stomach, liver. Later on, he'd go up to Damrod and ask him quietly, Hey, can my heart really attack me? Because I'll get it first.
Typical
If it tries.
Maracar.
I'll get
I
I'll get it first.
I'd say probably leave it alone, Maracar. I think you're probably safe.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Aurelion doesn't know what he's talking about.
Just eat some honey nut Cheerios in the morning. I hear they help heart disease.
Honey
Bless
nut.
bless you. Wait, there's nuts and honey?
There's Cheerios. What are those?
No, you're thinking of chariots. Yeah,
Chariots.
that's when a dog that's when a dog has little things squirming out of its poop.
What?
No, those are
Damrod
called
Damrod turns on his heel and starts heading for wherever the equipment room is to start searching for the equipment they need for this trip.
Real fast, Nate, translate. What did you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean that's when worms come out of their poop?
Yeah, it's chariot. That's as far as Maracar is concerned.
Okay,
That's
okay.
canon. That happened.
That's canon. I'm glad that we've established that parasitic worms in dogs' poops are canon.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
This is the kind of action that you've been missing all week, like for the past month.
A little senseless, but always fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, Damrod, what would you be looking for in there?
Oh God,
Legendary plus 2
could-
bow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can get a specific list at some point, but basically, I'm looking for whatever supplies that we might need that we have either used up or we're lacking in the first place. You know, I'm trying to make sure that we have what we need to start fires. I have rope, basically like basic traveling supplies for survival.
He has
Are you still after a bow?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, you've got a choice of a short bow, a long bow, or there's even a great bow.
Ooh,
The heck's a great bow?
it's like a bow but better.
It's like a long bow but better indeed.
It's
Um,
it's the parents of the longbow's parents.
yeah. Let me just see, because there is a handout for equipment, by the way. So
Yeah, Nathan, just look at the handout.
I don't know how to use
show
Roll20.
players. Show it to players. Yeah. So the great bow is a D10 bow. It's very big, however. It's as tall as you are, effectively. It has an increased range and an increase of damage. It's a D10.
Oh, so with the great bow, you can't bonus action dodge because it's so big.
Yep.
Yes. There is no bonus action dodge anyway, but unless you're a monk. But yes, effectively.
Gotcha.
The prerequisite is you do need a 13 strength to use it, which Damrod does have. So
Yeah, I think I might give that a shot, actually.
okay.
Now my bow will be bigger than Rook's bow.
No, it won't. Shut up.
I
Mine's
mean, it
better.
already was because Rook only has a short bow. So
Short but powerful.
Very.
Yeah, just keep telling yourself that.
Shut up!
I mean, it's
Yeah,
barely two hands.
You guys are just mean.
I mean, at least his sword's 2 hands now.
Yeah.
Anything else that Damrod would want to pick up, or is there anything that anybody else would like to pick up?
You guys get rope.
I
Rope.
have rope. I have
Well,
had rope the entire
I have rope.
time.
I'll take
I have rope.
I'll take some rope.
Okay, just some simple hempen rope.
Yeah.
Maracar would like to find a lantern with oil.
Okay. You can find a lantern with oil.
Nice.
Yeah. It has a little hoop on that potentially you could hook it onto something. So, if you had a spear with a hook that you could carry the lantern on your spear, if the spear was designed that way.
Gotcha.
But the hoop on the lantern is there.
Nice. Because we're level 5 now. We shouldn't be using torches. Come on, people.
I mean,
Whereas-
some of us don't have to.
let's move into the modern age.
But you can, especially Damrod. Damrod can attack with a torch. So
Is this lantern a bullseye lantern or a hooded lantern?
it will be a. Which one would you like? And I'm giving this option simply because the Bree, the people of Bree do use lanterns. It's actually one of their cultural heirlooms.
Ah. They invented the lantern. See,
Uh,
I am Bree. I think I would like a bullseye lantern.
Okay,
Focused beam.
Yeah. Now I don't know what actually. Yeah. If you can just search for the bullseye lantern in the compendium and drag it
Yeah.
onto your character sheet.
Sweet.
Could I possibly get like a book of matches? Is that something that they would have here?
No,
You're gonna
not
spend your
matches.
time reading matches on our trip.
Well, I thought that like let's say that we came across like a well and we were like, we need to go down this well. How deep is it? Light a match, drop it in, see how deep it goes.
What's
Like,
the
we
difference
so you're
between
just-
doing that
you're-
and lighting a stick?
You're just gonna throw part of your book down in the well.
You light the match and then drop it.
Yeah,
but
that's part of the
where are we
matchbook.
gonna
You're
find
you're
phosphorus?
gonna lose.
Oh,
and-
You're gonna
shut
lose
the
part of the
hell
story.
up, Nathan.
The I don't think matches give off all that much light.
And I forgot
No.
that we were gonna have like a tinderbox or like something to catch something on fire. We can just like catch some sticks on fire, right?
Yeah, we all forgot that we had something to create fire with.
Yeah.
To be fair, when
Um,
you don't need to see in the dark, you kind of forget about that.
yeah. One.
But, I'd
You
like to
probably you could find some candles.
I think I'm good. I'll just stick with the aforementioned stick stuff.
Okay.
would they have any swords in there?
What swords would you like?
Maybe a broadsword.
Hey, Chuck, if it matters, scimitars are pretty sick. Like, their damage is pretty good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I mean, elven scimitar of warning, is with a fancy wooden handle made by one of your best friends. That's a pretty neat weapon to use.
Yeah, never mind. I would just
Well-
replenish whatever arrows I had lost.
Yeah, I'll replenish some arrows also.
Now Rook's mad at Maracar. They broke up. No, Maracar's not handling Rook's wood anymore.
They didn't break up. They're still going strong.
Yeah.
The bromance continues.
Other than that, no, I'm good.
So you gather your supplies, you gather your equipment. For all intensive purposes, if we get into a situation where it's like, oh, I wish I had some rope, then we can just assume that you had rope. You might say, oh, I wish I had some chalk, then we can just assume you've got some chalk. As long as it's within reason. Yeah, as long as it's within reason and it's very mundane equipment and stuff, we can just say that you have picked some up.
Yeah, no WMDs or anything.
Yeah, none of them. You set out before light, crests the misty mountains far off in the east. Damrod, just give me a survival check to get us started.
And we
Here we
lost.
Okay.
go. What's that, Orelion?
Yeah. You are able to find the path that leads to the north, skirting the west side of the Weathered Hills. And you can see many of these paths are hidden from lower positions by ridges or boulders or just shrub. And at times they are even covered from if people were looking down from above. But it snakes along the side of the west of the Weathered Hills as you begin your journey to the north. You know vaguely where the next outpost sanctuary is along this trail. Although it's probably the furthest you've been north, potentially only traveling there once with your father. After that, it's not going to be so easy to find your way to the next sanctuary. The twins would have asked one favor of you, that you pass on to the watchers at each outpost that they have seen the campfires off in the east once more.
Yeah, I mean, I would take whatever message needs to be taken. Probably relaying it to whatever outposts we come to. Not necessarily telling in a way that's telling all of them like, hey, you need to go do this, go run down there and help, but just to at least pass that information on so that everyone knows what's happening and they can send help if help is needed.
I think with you guys beginning your journey, we will stop there and pick up next time in a month's time when we get to play again.
Mm-hmm. For 5 minutes.
Hopefully not that long.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Again, I'm free every Wednesday, so it's just down to whenever
will
you
be
guys are available.
I will be free every Wednesday after this next Wednesday when we end with Baron. I'll be free every Wednesday.
Excellent.
Our next date should be the 13th. I mean, as far as I know, I'm free for that day as long as work doesn't happen again, which has been happening a lot. So I mean, I know it's in December, so it depends on the holidays and what everyone has planned and what everyone gets scheduled and stuff like that. But I should be available around that time. So
You said the 13th, right?
Yes, that's 2 Wednesdays from now.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
That should be fun.
It's technically our next date. So yeah, as
And
far
it's
as I
good.
know, I'm free that day. I don't have anything going except for work. So as long as I get off work, then I think we're good to play that day. As long as everybody else is.
I
Yep.
don't see
Yeah.
why not.
I might
Should
be
be
a little
good.
late. I might be a little late, but I'll get there soon.
Unacceptable.
Okay, bye.
Unacceptable.
Just kidding. I'm still here. Can't get rid of
I'm
me that
like,
easy.
I'm like, really?
Do you, do you guys have anything else you want to plug or say before we head out? Any exciting things coming up anytime soon that you want to let us know about?
Any things with logos?
Yeah,
And
I just put
or
out a new.
channels?
Yeah. Okay. So Underground Tavern. I like to say the lights are on. The lights are on. Doors are not open, but we should be up. I worked with Jarl for a while today. We put this. He showed me like how to like program my computer to run it. So I'm thinking hopefully within 2.5 to 4 weeks, we should be able to run something soon.
Excited.
I put
Yeah.
out a new logo. Go check it out on Dimensions channel, Yar's channel, anywhere that there is art, pictures, ideas, anything.
You can
If
also
you go
see
to
it in the chat right now. It's
You can do that too.
Charlie's been shouted out. It's in the chat.
if you go to the French Museum of Art, then it will be there.
Yes.
Yes, it will. But
All
other
right.
than that,
Anything else? Anybody got anything else exciting coming up?
I have been taking a little bit of a stream hiatus for the past couple weeks, trying to find a job. And I think by the end of this week, I should get an answer or two from some places. So I think I should be back up and running as far as getting online. Might try streaming tomorrow, Friday. Sometime this week, I'm going to hop on stream and do something. But other than that, yeah, I got nothing exciting going on. What about you, Ray?
Business as usual. Been playing a lot more Baldur's Gate. I'm at the final part of Act 2, so I should be finishing that up probably before the year's end. Besides that, Lethal Company with some VTube friends. I'll probably be playing Lethal Company with Puppy and Nathan and Jarl and Ben at some point too, whenever we can figure out a schedule.
Game is so
Yeah.
good. It's
The
so
thing-
good.
I actually bought that game
Here's the thing:
the other day.
if you've not played it and you're like, oh, all the streamers are playing it, it's probably overhyped. It's really not. It's just, it's so weird that it's a one-person developed game because it's got so much fun stuff in it.
Oh, it's
Well,
so
there's-
good. We got to
Stardew
get
Valley
together
was a
and play.
one-person developed game too.
Yeah, it's just
that's a
wild.
masterpiece. Yeah.
We got to get together and have this group play. Get
I'm
Charlie
down,
on.
yeah.
Charlie, it costs $10.
You can do it.
Not Baldur's Gate. Lethal Company. I wish Baldur's Gate was $10.
I'll look into it.
Okay, it's a
Yeah,
lot
well,
of fun.
I got a
I
bunch
get
of
paid
those.
Friday.
I got a bunch of those party games. I got Played Up, or no, Overcooked. Played Up, one of the two.
I got played up.
The one
Yeah.
with the little people.
Yeah, that's played up.
Yeah, I got Played Up. I got Demonology. I got Lethal Company. So yeah, I'm good to go. It's just been a time thing for me. But yeah,
Mhm.
I would love
Yeah.
to get this group in on some party games.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
know how
absolutely.
I feel about Phasmophobia, but oh my gosh, the Lethal Company is just so good.
I said this the other night whenever we were playing with Puppy and them. I was like, I can't believe Ray likes this game and hates Phasmo because
because-
I can't say it's exactly the same thing,
It's
but it's
not.
it's a real similar premise though, and
Let me tell you what
definitely
Phasmo
die a
consists of.
lot.
Let me tell you what Phasmo consists of. You go into a room, you ask if there's a ghost there, you stand there for a little bit, sage burns, you die. That's it. At least
Maybe
with
you die.
Yeah, no, I 1000% die every single time, but at least when I die, like in Lethal Company, I can watch people running around like crazy people. It's funny.
That is true. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you guys haven't played it, I suggest grabbing it, especially if you have. I mean, it's a 4-player game right now, but if you can find 3 people, it's super fun to play. You can play it with 2 people. It's a little rough to play with 2 people. Not that it's a bad game. It's just pretty difficult
Hard.
to play with 2 people. But it's super fun. We're actually, when we're done with this, we're gonna go over and raid Puppy. Puppy's playing Lethal Company
Yay.
again, and
Yeah.
we're gonna raid. Puppy and Ben and someone else are playing, so we're gonna raid them. And I had a ton of fun playing with them last night. I need to fix my filters on my OBS because some of the eclipsed or night planets we went to were just, I could see them on my screen when I was playing, but it's just almost complete black when you watch the VOD back. But we had some great times last night. So yeah, I recommend it. Nate, we'll have to get you on a game once you have stuff
Yeah.
settled down and know what's going on, and
Yeah.
have a
Once
better
I have
idea
a
of time.
job, yeah. Once I have a job, I'll feel comfortable streaming. Like it's not like, oh, I could be using this time to apply for jobs. You
I
know?
got you. I feel
Oh,
that.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I'm excited.
I don't know for my side if we have survival games with Jarl and Dumpgraw tomorrow night. I know Dumpgraw's been sick. Still, he's I think he's gonna go back to the doctor again because he just
Oh,
can't
wow.
shake this sickness he's got. Which is
Stand
why
dump.
we're not playing tonight. But yeah, so I don't know if we'll have survival games tomorrow night. If not, I will either do something solo or see if I can get something going with other people, or I may just try to get some YouTube videos caught up. I went from 41 videos behind to 24 videos behind, so I'm
Yeah.
catching up on
Howdy,
the
man.
YouTube videos. I'm
Good lord.
I mean, I may not be streaming, but I'm using my extra time for something. So yeah, we're getting that caught up so that we can start other projects and get some other stuff rolling that we've been talking about on the channel for 17 years. Um, yeah, and then Friday, if Dump's feeling better, we'll be doing our co-stream with Dumpcraw on Friday, and then we'll see what kind of mess we can get into this weekend at some point. We might do an extra stream here or there to kind of make up for some stuff, but yeah. That's basically what I have planned so far is nothing.
Yay.
So
Nice.
if you guys want to hang out for just a few minutes after the end screen's thrown up, we're gonna raid Puppyatron. Like I said, they're playing Lethal Company with Ben and some other streamers, and great game, great streamers, and you'll have a lot of fun. All I ask is if you got 5 minutes, give the streamer 5 minutes. Not required to chat or follow or sub. Just give them 5 minutes. If you got 5 minutes, you might find a reason to chat, follow, or sub. We will see you in another dimension.